Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling something really vital if you're thinking about heading to China, whether for a trip or a longer stay. We're talking about medical insurance for foreigners. And consider this, China saw over 65 million travelers just last year. That's a huge number, and it really underlines why, having a financial safety net for medical stuff isn't just smart, it's pretty much essential.
Absolutely, it's crucial. Our aim today is really to cut through the jargon, break down how the healthcare system works over there for expats and visitors, and look at the insurance options. We want to make sure you feel properly prepared, not just aware.
Okay, let's jump right in. We hear about public healthcare systems globally. But in China, for a foreigner, why might relying just on the public system? Why might that not be enough? What are the real practical hurdles?
That's a really key question, and it goes beyond just maybe struggling with Mandarin. Think about describing complex symptoms accurately when there's a language barrier. It's not just awkward, it could genuinely affect your diagnosis or care. Misunderstandings happen. And then there's the payment. Unlike, say, the NHS or other systems you might know, in China, especially in public hospitals, you'll very often need to pay the full cost up front.
Wow, up front, like before treatment.
Yes, exactly. We could be talking thousands, even tens of thousands of RMB for something serious right there at the registration desk. Plus, most public places can't directly bill your foreign insurance company. So you pay out of pocket, collect all the receipts, the fapiao, the medical records, and then file for reimbursement later. It's a whole process.
Okay, that sounds stressful. And probably crowded, too.
Oh, definitely. Public hospitals can be very busy, which often means long waits and maybe less personalized attention than you might be used to.
So if the public route has these challenges, where do foreigners usually go? What's the alternative?
Well, many opt for private clinics or international hospitals. The big advantages there are English-speaking staff, much shorter waiting times, and generally a higher level of service and comfort.
But I imagine that comes at a price.
It does. A big price, often. A standard consultation, just seeing a doctor at an international hospital, that could easily be anywhere from, say, 700 to 200 RMB. That's roughly 100 to 300 US dollars.
Just for consultation.
Right, and something more involved, like an ACL surgery, you might be looking at around 37,500 RMB or more. So without decent insurance, those costs can become astronomical very, very quickly.
Okay, that really drives home the need for insurance. So let's talk about the types of insurance. What should people be looking for?
Broadly speaking, there are two main types you'll consider. For short trips, holidays or brief business visits, travel insurance is usually the focus. It tends to cover emergencies, accidents, and critically emergency medical evacuation if you need to be moved to a better facility or even back home.
And for people staying longer.
Yeah.
Like working or studying.
And you really need comprehensive health insurance. This is much broader. It covers things like regular doctor's visits, specialist consultations, managing ongoing conditions, sometimes even dental or maternity care, depending on the plan.
Okay, and within those comprehensive plans, what are the absolute must-haves, the core things you need covered?
Definitely emergency medical treatment and hospitalization. That's basic. Prescription medications are vital too. And as I mentioned, emergency evacuation and repatriation. Don't underestimate this one. If you're in a smaller city or a more rural part of China, getting you to a major hospital or back home quickly could be life-saving.
That's a really important point. What about the small print? Any common pitfalls?
Ah, yes, the exclusions. Always read the fine print. A big one is pre-existing conditions. Many policies have a waiting period, often like 24 months, before they'll cover issues you already had. Also, check for exclusions related to high-risk activities, maybe skiing or scuba diving. You might need extra coverage for those. And crucially, check the overall coverage limits. Make sure they're high enough to handle a serious incident in an expensive private hospital.
Got it. So you've picked your policy. Now what about actually using it? How does the claims process work, generally? And picking a provider, any tips there?
Okay, the claims process usually means you gather all the documents, the hospital invoice, your medical report, proof of payment, all of that. Then you fill out the insurer's claim form and submit it, typically within a time frame like 30 to 90 days.
Right, and you mentioned the upfront payment issue again.
Exactly. That's still the default in many places. But here's something really interesting that's changing the game. Direct billing agreements. More and more international hospitals, and some private ones, have arrangements with major insurers where the hospital bills the insurance company directly.
Oh, that's huge. So you don't need to pay thousands out of pocket?
Potentially, yes. It avoids that massive upfront cost, which is a huge relief, especially in an emergency. It's definitely something to ask about when choosing both your insurer and where you might seek treatment.
That makes a lot of sense. Is direct billing common everywhere now, or still mostly big cities?
It's definitely more common in major cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and with the big global insurance providers. Always best to confirm the network. When picking a provider, think about how long you'll be in China, your age, any health issues, and which hospitals you prefer to use. Big names like Allianz, Cigna, AXA have strong reputations and wide networks. But there are good local options too, like Ping An or Taikang, who understand the system well.
Any surprises or new developments in this space?
Actually, yes. There's China's first foreign-funded Level 3 general hospital that's the top tier, called Tianjin Perennial Hospital. What's fascinating is they're trying to challenge that international equals super expensive idea. Apparently, they accept local Chinese social medical insurance for certain services, which is quite unusual. And they're even looking towards medical tourism. It suggests things are evolving, perhaps becoming a bit more accessible.
Wow, a top-tier foreign-funded hospital taking local insurance. That is interesting. This whole deep dive really makes it clear good medical insurance in China isn't just, a nice to have. It feels fundamental for peace of mind and actually being able to access the care you might need without financial ruin.
Precisely. Securing the right cover isn't just about money, it's about actively choosing a smoother, less stressful, more secure experience while you're navigating life in a different country, a different system. It frees you up. So maybe the final thought for you is, what does having that preparedness, that safety net, truly mean for your own confidence as you explore the world? How does it enable your sense of adventure?